Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and we are live on Twitch right now as of this recording. If you guys want to prove it, you guys in chat can say hello to YouTube there. But we're going to be doing a live tier list for OP04. It's, obviously I've been doing, I would say, an extended amount of OP04 testing. We're finally at that moment, and I'm really excited for this. Also, so a couple things for this. One, this is assuming that the restrictions hold with the red stuff. We haven't heard anything, which I think is a little bit strange, but that's the assumption on that. And then two, again, these are just my own opinions on this too. You guys can also look at data from Asia and OP04 over there. I think it's going to be a little bit different for us as well. So that is there. And our tiers for this are highly competitive, which means I would expect it to win a large regional or treasure cup like event. We have competitive, where I would expect it to top an event. And then playable is a deck that, might have a chance to top, but it's not something that I'm really expecting for there. And then King Chair is just, I don't think it has any shot. If I'm wrong on this, I'm just super duper wrong. So those are kind of like the ideas for that. And again, this is live on Twitch. If you guys are not following me on Twitch, I don't know why not. We do a lot of content. Pretty much for this month, we've been like almost every other day making content. We've got tournaments, we've got testing, and just everything else. So make sure to check that out. But without further ado, we're going to put a couple of these cards into the King tier, and we're going to start off with this tier list. All right, so here we go. These are the leaders that I think are just okay. I'd be really surprised if any of these got in there. I will put some special exception to Ivankov and Sanji in the fact that I think that Blue got a good amount of good stuff. So that is kind of how it is. We're going to put them on the end. I guess they should be on the far left, as chat saying there too. So also Randy with the subscription during the recording. What a mad lad. But yeah, these, we'll put them farther on the left here. Sanji, like, I've always liked, and again, like, there is some good blue stuff that kind of came out, like, and you can kind of like use the King package as well, or the Queen package and stuff. I haven't experimented with it. That's probably one of the decks I want to, but I think by and large, if any of these got there, it'd be tough. Also, Kinemon, I'm gonna say, I almost put their chat. Talk me out of it, but we'll talk about it when we get there. So we're gonna go over all 6 of the new leaders, and then just kind of go from order from kind of like, I guess, release date, and then like star decks afterwards. So Vivi, I don't think that's any surprise if you guys have seen this one. New restriction list on Friday. Yeah, we'll see. If it does, I'll be like, all right, well, whatever. I guess I'll have to make another video, but we'll release this Wednesday, so we'll see what happens. Again, I'm really surprised they haven't done that. Anyways, Vivi's just okay. I just feel like everything's a little bit too expensive for what she does. There are some really cool combos with it, but I just don't think they're consistent enough, or they're too slow or too expensive for what the meta is. So I'm putting in playable to be kind of nice. If I wanted to be like super serious, I'd definitely put it in King tier, but we'll just put it in playable for now, and we'll see. If anyone cracks the code, it's very exciting, but I don't know if anyone's going to crack that code. So going to Doflamingo, I'm going to put that in highly competitive. I think the deck is a little bit linear, but the film package works really well with it. It gets a lot of advantage, and getting 2 extra Dawn every turn is absurd, even if they're on your opponent's turn. There's so much, so many good 2-cost events in purple and green to take advantage of that the deck is great. You don't really like lose hand advantage very easily, and then being able to use like potentially the 10-drop Dofi to just kind of give your opponent like a checkmate situation. I think that's where it is. So I'm going to put that there. I don't know if it's... I'm going to guess as we go throughout the meta, it's going to go down to more competitive, but I know that there's just a lot of people who are on the deck in general that I think is going to bump up the play it, like how well this leader does inherently, and we'll see if that continues to be the case. So and then we have Isho. I'm going to put this in competitive. I've got like a spicy build that I've been working on, so I know everyone has their own spicy builds with it, but I think that the leader is good. It's better than I thought it was going into the format, where I thought it was like maybe a little bit too slow or clunky, but there's definitely some really cool combos you can do with it, and it definitely has... I think Trafalgar Law is better than it, but there are definitely some vibes where you can have some good combos with it. You can like reuse stuff that you weren't supposed to reuse. Being able to restand something at the end of your turn is really great. It's just really flexible. It's a really open-ended leader, and that is kind of where it is. So we're going to leave that in competitive there. And then for Rebecca, I'm going to put her in highly competitive as well. I think a lot of people will additionally be on this leader, and it's going to do moderately well. I think it has a couple of polarizing matchups, which either work in its favor or not. It's a really unique deck, though. It's unique in a lot of what it does and how it works, and I think that's really cool. And I think in general, my opinion is there's going to be a lot of people who are just like super duper like good at Rebecca. They're not good at any other deck but Rebecca. They grind only Rebecca for it, and I'm going to put that there. And you guys think she should be Dofi? I don't think so. I think Dofi's going to be more, at least, like, okay, I could see Rebecca staying highly competitive after the first couple weeks, but I think more people are just going to inherently play Dofi on film and do very, very well. So that's my thoughts. But yeah, in the same way as like Trafalgar Law is where there'll be people who are only Rebecca players. They know, like, you have to manage resources in hand. In your trash, you have to manage, remind yourself what cards are in the bottom of your deck and how you order them and stuff. Some people will be really, really good at knowing the exact numbers and stuff for matchups and be like savants for it, and then that's going to make like the 10% difference for like a great Rebecca player and like a pro Rebecca player. So that's my thoughts there. Queen, I think Queen is probably going to be competitive. I'm going to put it higher than Isha. I think a lot of people also will be, in general, like these 5 leaders, at least these 4 leaders here. I think a lot of people are going to be on a lot because, again, it's something new and kind of go from there. And Queen is a little bit linear, and I think when people kind of recognize how to play around the deck, and I think there will be a learning curve where everyone's just going to be like, oh, I have to kill Queen as soon as possible. If I don't do that, then they're going to be able to, get me at the end. But you really need to just kind of focus on the removal of their 8 and 9 drops if you're able to, because then if you get rid of them, they can't heal, right? So I think inherently people will have to learn how to play against Queen, but when they do, Queen will get worse in comparison. But there will be that learning curve, and there will be people just not knowing how the deck works. It's strange, it's weird, and it's kind of, again, different than a lot of other decks in the format. So I'm going to put in competitive. Maybe that's a little bit too low for it, but I think people will find success. It's just like a little bit linear, a little bit of RNG on the cards you draw and put in your life, but there's also just a lot of good cards you can put in life for blue and yellow, I think, right now as well. So we got there. And then my personal favorite deck right now, I literally am streaming right now, and I did some testing with this deck. Purple Yellow Croc is really cool. It's a really, really cool leader. I like it a lot. I've been having a lot of fun with it. So that is where we're at with this one. So we're going to leave that there. That might be putting him a little bit too high, but it's my tier list, dang it. So we're going to put that right there. And that's pretty much for the new leaders. I don't think there's any... I think Rebecca and Dofi are the best 2 leaders from this set. I don't think that's too controversial there. I think on the competitive side, I think these 3 leaders, a lot of people have been putting on time, and then people have also been trying VP. I don't think it's the same level as the other ones. And if I was being like really, like, I could see these being down here, but I'm going to put them up here because it's my tier list, and I generally enjoy playing these. Crocodile and Isha are probably my favorite 2 leaders into this set. So there we go for the new leaders, and let's jump on into some thoughts on just the other leaders in the game. So these are probably going to be a little bit quicker for it. Zoro, I think, is just good. Trafalgar Law is also just good. They're just not any worse. Yeah. And also, yeah, Croc only has 3 leaders. I thought about that the other day, like literally today, because I also fought against the blue Croc and the blue-purple Croc as the purple-yellow one today. But it's just it's funny just how many leaders Crocodile has. He has 3 compared to, like, Luffy also only has 3 leaders right now, which is, he's going to get more, but it is really amusing thinking about it that way as well. But Zoro, Law, and we're going to bump it. Like, these 3 leaders are not going to be bad. I think they're still going to be played. I think people are still going to be doing well with them. I don't think that's going to be changed. And I'm a little bit my testing's been a little bit diluted in the sense that it's been testing against people who want to play the new stuff anyways, and not as much as necessarily testing for meta or like tournaments. So a lot of my testing has been skewed against, I would say, red decks in general, because people just don't want to play them as much right now. But that's kind of where it's at right now. But I think they're going to be strong. It's going to be interesting to see the first couple events to see the ratio of how well they do versus how many people bring it and that kind of stuff. But we do have that. Blue Dofi, I'll put him competitive. These 2 are kind of like the same leader at the same time. I think I think Crocodile got better, and I think Dofi got worse in this format. Just there's a lot more general use blue cards that work right now, and Crocodile gets that tempo bonus of the -4 effect. The Dofi, since you're so kind of strict onto like the top of your deck and setting it up, and you're a little bit less flexible for your turns to be able to say, oh, I have 6 Dawn available to Red Rock, right, or something like that. So I think Crocodile, because it's more flexible in its gameplay and more tempo based, I think it's better than Dofi right now. But I think both are viable to their own kind of spot. But I think a lot of people on Dofi are going to be trying Crocodile at least for the first couple weeks. So that's kind of my opinion on that one there. Yeah, and then also, yeah, as said in chat too, yeah, Croc is better in this set. 10 drop Kaido into Croc ability would be fun, yeah, because you get to bounce 3 cards back into your opponent's hand, an 8 cost, a 5 cost, and a 3 cost, and then they're just gonna have a hard time getting there. So, what else we got? Blue Purple Kaido. I'm gonna put him in. I don't know what I've done a little bit of testing with Blue Purple Kaido and a little bit with Blue Purple Croc. I still think they're just okay. Better than Vivi? Better than Vivi. All right, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. I don't know which one's better in your minds. We can come back to it. I'll see what chat says, but I think it's just they're just okay. They get some new stuff to play with. I think probably Croc is better than Kaido because Croc gets to do at least something more unique. Blue Purple Kaido also kind of like I think Blue Purple Croc takes advantage of the new stuff more. But I can be persuaded against or for that. They're just fine. They're fine leaders. I think people will be testing them, and someone might have like the spice for it. I just haven't seen it yet either. So there's that. Garp, I like Garp a lot. I'm gonna put him in playable, which is probably 1 tier too high, but there it is. Let's see, Kaido can ramp to 10. Can ramp a lot. That's fair. It's kind of, I think what your opponent's kind of have to set it up for you, but it's there. I get it. I get that. Like Searcher and Oni like also helps with Blue Purple. It depends on like if Oni's good enough or like not like too much of a brick. I don't know. I can talk about it some other time. We'll keep it there. Garp has some good stuff. I think Black got some good support in the set in general, so Garp can take advantage of it. Cost reduction will always be really great for this one too. So it just as long as you get like better removal that you can continually use to just get rid of your opponent's stuff, that's like this effect is going to be great. So if we get right now a lot of the cards that are black that have KOs, you usually have to associate like a discard with them, but we're getting more and more of that destruction where it's not needed. I think it'll get better as that. So yeah, Cavendish, I played against someone on stream the other day. It was really cool where Cavendish can just like put a Dawn underneath it, give something like make something 0. Cavendish swings, you rest your leader, which is a little expensive, but it's fine, and you get the removal. It felt really, really good. So I don't know. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to be optimistic about it. So, and then let's see, Kinemon. I really want to put Kinemon into King tier as well, but people are saying that it's fine. Green just got like nothing this set, and Green got like nothing last set, right? It's just kind of in a weird spot where Green has been like really, really archetype dependent and heavy for the last 2 sets, where the generic stuff just doesn't get as much love. So I don't know. We're gonna put it there in playable. It might be a little bit too high, but if you guys want Kinemon to be up here, then Garp has to be up here too. So Magellan's okay. I'm gonna put him right there. Magellan's fine. Does Magellan get anything from purple this set? Not really, right? I guess you get like more Dawn minus stuff. Do you get the? Okay, actually, this is embarrassing. Ruling question. Do you get the? Does the Magellan does it work back for? It's only your turn, right? Yeah. Okay, if it was your opponent's turn, it'd be way different, but it's not because you could take advantage of the crocodile stuff. Just starter 10. Okay, and maybe... Alright, we'll put him like the end of playable then. Maybe I should put him in King tier. He's fine. Z's as well. These two are just hanging out here. It's just like other purple leaders. That's fine. Alright, next up, who do you guys think... This is kind of diverting from it, but... Who do you guys think is like the best leader for black in this set? Smoker's always just like a safe pick, right? Luffy kind of popped off in Europe a couple weeks ago, so that's fine. And then there's also Rob Lucci, which is kind of like kid. I think if I was to say which one I thought was more competitive, it's probably Lucci. Yeah, and then these two could be like close down and playable. Yeah, Lucci. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm not too biased on that. I'm not too biased. You can definitely work the Rebecca stuff, and again, like the Dressrosa stuff is open-ended enough that I haven't done enough testing for other things, but it's where it is. I'll have some faith in Luffy. We'll put him here. Keep him there. Ace is probably fine-ish. Ace was able to get some tops last set. Probably will be continued to get a little bit this set. I'd say he's like the bottom end of competitive, if anything. I think if anything, people will want to play red. They'll just keep the trio up here, but we'll have them here. Luffy, I'm gonna put him in the middle of the pack here. He's great. I think his aura's generically better, but he's great, so that's fine. Kuro did get a 6-8 vanilla. I really wish Kuro got like a 4-6 vanilla, but we'll put him right there in the middle. He's probably fine. I know people are on him as well. Arlong, if I was to be really optimistic, I'm going to be really optimistic. I'm going to put him on the bottom end of competitive. You guys can make fun of me for that. I love Arlong. Arlong's super cool. You can technically run him like a Wano yellow-green package if you really want to. But so this is my tier list, so I get to do my own stuff. You guys can make fun of me, but there's just so much room for this. I was able to be moderately successful doing some testing the other day too with it. I feel like if you wanted to commit to it, he's a really good deck. Like yellow's going to be really, really good. So that is, yeah, if they can pop your 4 costs, that's true. And there are a lot of cases where I swing and then like I play my guy and it's like the top life is Thunderbolt. I'm like, oh, cool, great, that's awesome. So there it is. Playable is fine. I know I'm giving him a little bit of that bump up treatment, but we're gonna keep it there. Nami is probably a really interesting discussion. But she is probably like the gatekeeper for highly competitive. I think there will be ebbs and flows of Nami being good. It's just dependent on, you know, how slow the meta is. If the meta is too slow, Nami wins. Like it's just a clock, right? So I think it's a gatekeeper. Nami's 100% a gatekeeper for highly competitive. I think all these decks, maybe minus Rebecca, can answer it. But if you're playing a lot more of like, I'd say like Crocodile and Queen and such, then it's going to be in a rough spot. So we're going to keep that there. Charlotte kind of, I guess we talk about, we have all these yellow decks, which I mean, I made kind of a whole video talking about yellow, but we'll start off with Kid. I think Kid's just, again, like Luffy and Kid are just moderately generic cards and leaders for these archetypes or for the colors, so they're probably just going to be viable as long as the color is viable in some sense or another. So I'm just going to kind of put them in the middle of competitive. I don't think that's too outrageous to say. I think there's a lot of film players who are going to go to Dofi, and maybe a lot of Supernova people who are going to be trying it on eShow, but Kid's never like the worst deck in the room, so we're going to keep it there. What else? All right, so yellow decks. We're going to go through them. I don't think it's too crazy to say Katakuri. I think Katakuri is going to be better than Dofi and Rebecca. I know that Katakuri dunks on Rebecca, so because like the being able to mill their life is really great. Lin is probably just going to see less play, but it's honestly just as viable as Katakuri, so it's going to be there for sure. But yellow, I think, is in a really good spot for this. And then these two, Lin, I'm going to put like the top of this. I've been having some success with it. The fact that we can play Fukuro, Borsellino, and Sabo now in Black, Yellow, Big Mom, and then you can just keep dropping 10 drops and just eventually win is kind of a good tactic. This is just kind of what I've seen for it. It's not. I'd be too bold, right? If I was to say which one is better between Arlong and Lin, I'd probably say Arlong, because what Lin does is honestly probably better in the other two leaders, but that's kind of how that is. But yeah, if the game slows down, yeah, yellow just gets better because it has, again, kind of like Nami, like it has a clock that says I will eventually win. So like if you slow down and control me, like I'll get there. I'll get you to 0 life. Doesn't matter how many cards you have in hand, you'll get to 0. And then Yamato, I think Yamato is like the best generic yellow leader in the game. Maybe, okay, we'll reorganize these in a second. We'll go over it in a second, but I think it's competitive and it's in a really good spot. So I know it's tough to have this deck without one like Wano having like good like an actual searcher in yellow, and without having like a 10 drop. But the 9 drop has been doing well. The fact that you're a 6k leader is, you know, on defense is really strong for the deck too. And I think there's just a lot of that kind of stuff as well. So anyways, give me a second. We're going to reorganize these and just kind of have a final breakdown. All right, we're going to rearrange these for just inside their own tier. So, and I did have like a little talk with chat also. Also, for the record, we don't have the yellow, purple, or any of the Star Deck 10 leaders for this tier list, in case you guys didn't notice. Mostly because those are going to be out in a month. So we're going to probably do another one of these in a month when I go over those. I just haven't played any of the new stuff from that, which will obviously make purple ones there. So, all right. From the highly competitive, I'm going to go to... I think Katakuri is going to be the best leader in the whole dang game. I think Whitebeard is going to be pretty close, but I think Katakuri is going to be very strong. It's going to be the deck to beat. I think people will be, at least for the first couple weeks, just like the amount of tempo and like advantage you get from this guy, and just you got so many good triggers in the deck now. Like you had like pretty good ones, but like with how it is, I think it's what it is. So we're gonna keep that there. Whitebeard, and even if restrictions don't stand, I think these two are best. Maybe the restrictions are over, we get back there, but the restrictions kind of just stop you from having like a more mid-range game. Right now, Newgate is more like an aggressive deck, and it's a very, very good aggressive deck too. So we have that there. Zoro, I think, is great. Law is in there too. I don't know if Dofi or Rebecca are good enough to replace these on this side. I think this is kind of fine for this too. So we're going to keep this highly stand right there. Rebecca does, but I think Rebecca also loses to these other three as well. So I'm gonna keep it like this. We'll see if it stands. That's kind of my opinions. All right, competitive. I'm going to keep Nami here because I do think it's the gatekeeper for it. I think Linlin probably is just going to be underneath here, just like a slightly worse version of Katakuri, but like just a different build of it. And then what else we got? I think a lot of people are going to be on Queen and Croc, this blue one here. I think that holding up the rear definitely should be... I think these are mostly in a good spot. I'm being probably like a little bit hopeful for Crocodile and Isho. Maybe I should put this Dofi here, and then probably Rob Lucci. We'll put Rob Lucci here, and then have these guys as this. So this is probably fine. I think probably Ace and Arlong are on probably on the fringe between competitive and playable. Probably more of the hopefuls, I would say. Arlong for sure. Ace maybe not, but we'll see there. Yamato versus near the top. I could put Yamato... I could see it right here. We'll move Yamato up here. And then like Croc and Isho, and then like just oldies but goodies in this side. So we'll keep it like this. So this is the competitive side. And then for the playable side, this one's kind of tricky. I think this bottom half, I don't know, do people even care about this one? I think if I was to say hopefuls for decks to be good, it'd probably be these first 5. I think these are ones that could probably potentially top and pop up to competitive. These other 6 here, that might be asking for a lot. I'll put Kinemon here at the top. These 4 are probably like riskier ones. Honestly, I haven't done as much testing, but I think there's potential for it, and kind of have it there. And then King Tier, the same. And again, I said at the beginning, I think Emporio and Sanji might be like hopefuls to get out of this tier as well, but we're just gonna put those right here as well. So. Smokey and we'll change it here. We'll put Linlin behind Luffy, and we'll put Smoker just because it's there. All right, but here's my tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed having more of a live one. This is going to be on YouTube if you guys are watching on YouTube, so appreciate you guys following there as well. If you guys didn't watch this, we are on Twitch. We're close to 10K followers on there. So, and again, we do a lot of videos and content there too. So make sure to check that out. And that's going to be it. So we're going to update this next month, probably closer to when the new star decks come out as well. So we're going to incorporate them in those. But let me know what you guys thought, your thoughts on these and this tier list and just everything else. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it. Damn it.